Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this video we are going to check out Gala's price chart. And if you remember, in the previous update we were right around this area and I was saying the picture in Gala is getting a little bit complicated because it seems like that off of the highest side about like 1.8 cents we are having a 1 2 3 4 5 wave down, followed by that, who knows, maybe this is going to be a correction structure on the upside. Now I believe specifically we were right in here and I was saying in order for me to be a bit more optimistic in Gala, I want to see a move on the upside in order to take these highs right in here. At that point, I can tell you maybe this is like a deep correction down. For example, like a WXY potentially in form of a double zigzag. What happened? Definitely not this scenario. And here is the situation. Now that we have this move down, I can actually tell you this might be a complete impulse. And here is how I can argue that. Let's go on 5-minute time frame. Okay, so where is the highest high? It is right in here. Yes, and I can absolutely say this is 5 down into 1, probably an A, B, C flat structure into wave 2, maybe, sure, another move down to about this point into wave 3, maybe like 1 2 3 4 5, correction for 4, and this can be yet another move on the downside into wave 5. So this is again once more not an optimistic sign. And also what happened after this impulse down? We had a slow and choppy move up, which as you can see between our pullbacks, we had just constantly overlapping of the waves. And now this seems to be quite a strong move down. So what is it that I'm trying to say? I'm trying to tell you, number one, going long in Gala is actually quite risky. And number two, in terms of Elliott waves, if what I'm thinking is happening, this might be a wave 1, excuse me, let's just take this one again, a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and the current move might be a big one down into wave 3 and 4 and 5, which on a higher degree might be into a larger degree wave 3 and then correction for 4, another move on the downside into wave 5. Now, the question, at what point can we say this scenario is happening with a lot of confidence? The answer from my point of view comes down to this important low about, let's say, 1.3 cents. Why? Because if we get from here or maybe like a bit higher, not that important, a continuation of this downtrend in order to take this low, at that point, how exactly are we able to find a complete impulse on the upside to about this point? For me, it is possible to find a 5 wave, but the shape of it is going to look so odd to a degree that is going to make me say, you know what, it's probably not going to be my primary case, especially if we end up having a rather sharp move down without a lot of overlapping of the waves. If we get like a slow and choppy move, okay, that can be a bit of a different story. But for now, I think this move on the downside in Gala might actually continue a little bit more. Now, if you think that this is not really a good invalidation point for now because the price is actually like 20% higher, and if you want to wait for Gala to have a move down and take this low, at that point, you may lose an extra chance maybe for a position that you open right in here, then okay, I would like to suggest to have your eyes on this potential bearish pattern right in here. And I think at the end of the previous update, we also talked about it. You see, there is a good chance this might be in Gala a beautiful head and shoulder structure. However, this is at the moment not confirmed yet. When will it get confirmed? When we get a break of our neckline, meaning we go under it with absolute authority, followed by that we do a pullback, and then we get a continuation of the move down. And the moment that in this phase we take this low, we can say our head and shoulder is confirmed. And what is going to be the target for it? Let's just put the chart on regular scale and then measure the height of our pattern from here to about this point, okay, and put it at our breaking point. This will give us like a 1.3 cents Gala, and at that point I'm gonna say we are probably going to take this low, which means our bullish possibility is starting from the lowest low, which suggests the low is already in, is going to kind of get invalidated. Do not get me wrong, in the mid to long term I am 1000% bullish in Gala, and I fully believe any kind of move down is going to be, number one, our last move, and number two, a huge buy opportunity because the risk to reward ratios in here are absolutely insane. So overall, We are 100% bullish, do not get me wrong, but in the short term, we cannot really rule out the possibility of having some more moves on the downside. Sure, let's get a very strong move, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to take these two highs. At that point, I might change my tone a bit. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Gala's price chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.